guys, it's the Beardy Red Viking, back today with another video, finally. It's been a while. Meant to get this out a while ago, but there's been waiting for a few more things to come in. It's a bit of an update video for you today, a bit of a collection update. Thought I'd show you some of the stuff I've been picking up recently. So I'll get straight into it. First off is the Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo by Mr. Bungle. It came out on Hypocrisy recordings in 2020. I picked it up over Christmas, took a while to come in. And yeah, it's pretty cool, to be honest with you. I had it on CD previously, but when I saw it on vinyl, especially this colour of vinyl, I had to pick it up. It is on red vinyl, as you can see. You got the pentagram there in the middle with the old Easter Bunny in the middle, the skull of the Easter Bunny. And yeah, it's a great album, really enjoyed it, good fun. It's catchy, it's ferocious, it's fast. In places it's slightly mental, pretty much what you'd expect from a thrash album with Mike Patton, Scott Ian and Dave Lombardo on it, to be perfectly honest. One thing that's slightly annoying is, I don't know if you can see it on there, but the side names, they're not side A, side B, side 1, side 2 and all that. They've got weird names like Side Winship and Side Zoe Barnum, and it doesn't tell you what track's on what disc. So it's a bit confusing. But anyway, it comes with a couple of inner sleeves, which are nice. The dude's there. And you've got the Easter Bunny. Again, his skull there. As I mentioned, I kept the height sticker. Couldn't get that one off, so I've had to just stuff it in there for now. I'll probably sort something out with that at a later date. Next, I picked up this as a blind buy at my local records shop. In fact, the next two are blind buys from my local record shop. This is one called Reverie with the album Bliss. As I say, blind buy from the local record shop. Came out in 2015. They're a Danish raw black death metal band. It's a heavy dose of hardcore punk in there. I'd say the vocals are sort of a mix of punk and black metal, raw death metal potentially vocals. But yeah, it's an interesting album. Very interesting album, in fact. It opens with a hardcore punk riff, and the intensity doesn't really let up from there on in. Apart from the occasional flute interlude. As I say, it's interesting. Quite different in terms of the packaging as well. So opens in an unusual way. Got the inlay there with the lyrics and the credits, liner notes. It's on standard black vinyl on issue recordings. Nothing too exciting about it, but the label's kind of cool. And yeah, it's got a decent amount of tracks on it. That's the back cover. A lot of thrashy riffs, a lot of tremolo picking, as I say, flute passages, which you wouldn't expect from this kind of music. It's even got an interlude that's entirely instrumental. It's a flute instrumental, basically. But there's lots of dynamics within the song structures. There's definitely some striking garage band DIY vibes to it. The standout tracks, I would say, are side A, track 1, Dust and Dirt. That's a really good song. And then you've got the second one on side B, which is called Circles. Really interesting band. Thought the artwork was really cool. That's why I picked it up. I recommend it. I really recommend it. It's different, it's fun, it's enjoyable, and yeah, you can't go wrong, really. Next is another blind buy from my local record shop. It's an album called Serpent Uncoiling by a band called Sinistral King. Never heard of him before either. It's decent, but it's pretty unremarkable black metal in many ways. Sort of black and death as well. Kind of reminiscent of Behemoth in places, with lots of those elongated pinch harmonics that they love in Behemoth. You know, those bits. It's decent. It didn't blow me away. Not one I would necessarily recommend picking up, but I got it cheap. It was about a tenner, I think. The artwork's pretty cool. Got a line of notes. Dude's looking gnarly in black and white. Fairly typical black metal affair. Next is the latest from Hypocrisy, who are one of my absolute favourite melodic death metal bands. Absolutely love them. It's the latest album, Worship, on gatefold vinyl. All the lyrics in there. There's the dudes again, Peter Tachelin, legend of the scene, been in Bloodbath as well, and another band I think called Pain. It's on orange and black vinyl with splatter. Managed to get the hype sticker off for once, and actually got it on the front of the cover. As I say, orange and black splatter, which looks cool. Double album. Most of them are these days, aren't they? It came out last year, as I say, late 2021 it was released, the album. It's a first in 9 years, but it took a while for the vinyl to come in. I don't think the vinyl actually was released until early this year, so that's why it's taken a while for me to get hold of it. But that's now here. As I say, it's just what you'd expect from Hypocrisy, really, and that's no bad thing for me. It's mostly mid-paced, anthemic, melodic death metal, with the odd faster, more intense track here and there. It's mostly alien-themed, again, as you would expect. You can kind of see what they're going for. I love the artwork. Always love the artwork with the aliens and stuff. Another one that's been ordered for a while is this, the L.I.F.E project, self-titled EP. Came out in 2021. I mentioned it on my vinyl tag. It's a fairly generic hard rock, mainstream metal band, but the thing that makes them stand out for me is this lass, Cassandra Carson, the vocalist. She's got an amazing voice. The power in the voice, the range, utterly brilliant. As I say, the music isn't particularly inspiring, but the vocals make it stand out for me. That's why I bought it. It's got 5 tracks on it, and it came on gold vinyl, which is kind of nice. It's also signed on the cover. Don't know if you can see that. This dude's from Stone Sour. Not a band I'm particularly interested in. As I say, instrumentally it's not the greatest, but the vocals do it for me. There's a song called Ignite, track 1. Really powerful vocals on that. Well, really powerful vocals on all of them, but that one's probably a standout for me. So, yeah, have a listen, see what you think. It's not going to blow you away, but her vocals are impressive, and they might blow you away. So, yeah. Next, Kill or Be Killed. It's the 2021 Reluctant Hero album. Came out last year, as I say. It's on gatefold double vinyl. Standard black vinyl. 33 RPM. You may have heard of these. They are a supergroup featuring Max Cavalera, Troy Sanders from Mastodon, Greg Puciato from Dillinger Escape Plan, and you've got Ben Collar from Converge on drums. It's metal, elements of thrash, elements of hardcore, kind of a mix of all the members' bands with a triple vocal attack. So you've got Greg Puciato, Troy Sanders and Max Cavalera alternating, which gives a good dynamic to the vocals. There's plenty of grooves, stompy breakdowns, and the odd quieter melodic section. It's the second album. First one came out in 2014, which was self-titled, which was also fantastic. And this, I recommend it highly. I was looking for standout tracks on it, and I'd say probably you've got From a Crowded Wound, which closes side 2. Probably all of side 1, and the title track, Reluctant Hero, which closes it out. It's a melodic intro on it. It builds into a heavy sort of crescendo. And yeah, really, really good band, really good album, really recommend it, check it out. Black vinyl, got the old hype stickers off again, which is always pleasing. So, next up is Mastodon's Remission. Utterly brilliant album, absolute classic if you ask me. Not much I can say about it, you'll have already heard it if you're interested, I would imagine. But it's outstanding. you forget how heavy Mastodon used to be at times. As I said in my metal tag, I still love Mastodon. As I said in my previous video, I still love Mastodon no matter what they do. Pretty much everything they put out, they can't go wrong in my book. They're just geniuses. But yeah, I saw this in HMV for about 20 quid. I had to pick it up. Gatefold, double vinyl, and just look at this. How good is that? It's probably my favourite vinyl design I've seen. It looks so good. They call it pinwheel with black splatter. Absolutely love it. Great album. Absolutely filled with absolute bangers. You've got 2 discs, and you've got the old insert with the liner notes and the lyrics. But yeah, you got absolute Mastodon classics: Crusher Destroyer, Where Stands the Behemoth, Workhorse, Burning Man, Trampled Underfoot, Mother Puncher, Old Nessie, March of the Fire Ants. Utterly brilliant. A lot heavier than the stuff they're doing these days, as I say. Still enjoy their old stuff. Still enjoy the new stuff. Can't go wrong with Mastodon. One of my favourite bands. Absolutely love them. Next is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with what they call an official bootleg, which to me is an oxymoron. It's a contradiction, but I saw it in Piccadilly Records in Manchester for 15 quid, 20 quid, can't remember exactly, and it said it was them trying their hands at thrash metal. It's a live version of, well, it's a collection of live tracks from the album of the same name, Infest the Rat's Nest. It was released by Fuzz Club Records in London. They seem to do a lot of live albums. I enjoy a bit of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. The artwork's always awesome, as you can see. That was one of the things that attracted me to it. I love the name of the band. It's can't go wrong with a name like that, can you? The artwork's cool. The inlay is cool. The inner sleeve is cool. The label looks good. Just really enjoyable. Just good fun. As I say, it's described as thrash metal. I had to buy it. The first and third tracks and bits of others here and there kind of live up to that billing of thrash metal, but generally, although it's faster and heavier than a lot of their other stuff, a lot of it is still pretty standard for King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They do a bit of everything, really. A bit of 70s garage band type stuff, psyche, stonery, hard rock and roll. Great fun, high energy. Standout tracks on this would be, for me, Planet B, which is the first track on side A, and Self-Immolate, which is the 4th track on side B. But yeah, really good fun, really great artwork. I couldn't resist it, and I don't regret picking it up. As I say, it came out on Fuzz Club, which is a London record label, and there you go. Official bootleg. Nonsense. Anyway, next up is Kylesa with Static Tensions. This is a 2019 reissue, I believe. Sorry, no, it's a 2021 reissue of Static Tensions. Great artwork there. I believe it's John Dyer Baisley. Certainly looks like John Dyer Baisley. Doesn't say anywhere that it is, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be. But yeah, these are a really good band. I've known this album for a long time, but I saw it in Vinyl Exchange in Manchester for about 15, 20 quid. It's a special reissue, and I thought I'd pick it up. It's got a lot of recognisable tracks if you've heard the band before. They're a sludgy, stonery sort of band, really heavy but with lots of melody. For some reason they've got 2 drummers. Not entirely sure that's necessary. They tend to pan one drum kit to one speaker. It's interesting. I've seen them live. It's weird seeing 2 drummers up on stage, but I don't think it adds a massive amount to the music, but it doesn't detract from it either. The music's full of hooks. It's really catchy, and it's a really nice design as well. Well, vinyl style, vinyl look. It's sort of clear with a purpley pinky splatter. It's on Heavy Psych Sounds. Don't know if you can see this, but the label is actually ripped, and the bits that have come off are embedded actually in the record itself, which is weird. It doesn't actually affect the playability of it. It plays fine. I guess it's kind of cool, kind of unique. For me on this album, standout tracks would be Scapegoat, which is the first track on side A, Unknown Awareness, which is the fourth track on side A, and Only One on side B, track 3. It's got this sort of tapping, hammer-on, pull-off riff that is the centre of it. Melodic vocals, harsh vocals. It's 2 vocalists, one of them's a female, one of them's male. They're a really good band. I recommend checking them out if you don't know them. Chances are you may well know them if you're into that kind of stuff. But yeah, really interesting band. These are the liner notes. That artwork again there. Can't go wrong with them, in my opinion. Next is Toxic Death with Sepulchral Demons. It's a 2020 release on High Roller Records. Great artwork. Again, saw it in Vinyl Exchange. I hadn't heard of them, I don't think. Possibly, it's one of them names that's so obviously metal. I knew what we'll probably get in when I picked it up. Some thrashy kind of vibe. And that's what it is. It's kind of, they're a Norwegian band. It's thrash, speed metal, elements of black metal, and for me, elements of old school death metal, punkish kind of sound to it. The production is really clean, but kind of old school. Got a bit of a early Creator, early Slayer kind of vibe to the production. It was a blind buy. It's on nice blood red vinyl, which you can't go wrong with. All the artwork's really good. Fairly traditional metal, black metal, kind of thrash metal vibes. Logo's thrash metal as it gets. But yeah, I'd say it was blind buy, and I wasn't disappointed. It's fast as fuck. Lyrics are about war, death, admonishment of religion. It's over before you know it. It's high pace, high energy, ferocious drumming, snarling vocal delivery, deliberately cliched song titles. Got the likes of Savage Knights, Malicious Assassin, Sadistic Sorcery, Undead Vengeance, Incantation of Annihilation, and Morbid Divination, along with the title track. Just really cool, really entertaining, impossible not to bang your head to. I recommend it highly. Really good stuff. There's no particular standout track, I wouldn't say. I was reading a review of it from Angry Metal Guy online, and he said that he found himself drawn back to the overall aesthetic and experience Toxic Death put to the tape here, as opposed to this or that riff, moment, or individual song, and I would completely agree with that. There's no particular sort of standout moments, it's just, you gotta listen to the whole thing. 32 minutes of just thrashy, black metal-y savagery. Really good. I recommend you check it out. Next is another album I mentioned on my metal tag. Cadaveric Fumes with Echoing Chambers of Soul. I'd ordered it by the time I did that video, but it hadn't come out yet. On vinyl anyway. What I like about this, it's from Blood Harvest Records, Swedish label, a lot of death metal, and it comes with an Obi strip, which is cool. Also got a poster with the artwork. A couple of stickers with the logos of the label, so they'll be going in my record box. And it's just on standard black vinyl. But as I say, I mentioned this in my 2022 metal tag. French death metal band. It's a real shame they've actually broken up after recording this. It's their first album, and it's their only album. They've got a couple of EPs and demos and stuff, but this is their only album. They broke up after recording it. It's got 7 tracks on it. It opens with an ominous instrumental, and then it hits into a stomping mid-paced death metal monster. It's cavernous sound. Next track's much faster, and that dynamic kind of continues throughout. Side A ends on a melodic instrumental piece before side A kicks in. After a brief intro with some tremolo picking, heavy grooves, ferocious guitar leads. They even give their guitar solos names on here. There's one called Caves of Dancing Shadows, A Grotesque Extirpation, Nest of Forsaken Souls. I love that they give the guitar solos names. Utterly brilliant. And yeah, the album is fantastic. I highly recommend getting hold of it. You might struggle to get hold of it now. I think it's sold out on their Bandcamp, but you might still be able to get it from Blood Harvest. I'd say it's probably my favourite album of 2021. Of the ones that I've heard, I've been listening to so much music that I hadn't known previously since I've been part of this VC, since I've been watching VC. I've been listening to so much. But of the albums I've got, I would say that's definitely probably my favourite. And if you're looking for a standout track, it's all of them. Just all of them. Next is Mastodon's Hushed and Grim, which you've already seen me holding up in excitement when I got it on the cheap. Brilliant album, absolutely love it. It's very different to the previous album I was discussing, Remission. It's got its heavy moments, but it's got a lot of melody, it's got a lot of different sort of sounds, a lot of different vibes. It's such a good album for me. I absolutely love it. I know some people were hit or miss with it. For me, I love Mastodon so much. And this album did not let me down at all. Just on standard black vinyl. The only other variant was clear vinyl, and they did a deluxe edition, but it didn't come out over in Europe. It was only in the USA, and it was very expensive, and it was only on clear vinyl, so I didn't bother, because clear vinyl's the least interesting for me. I'd rather have it on black. It's just got the lyrics and the old liner notes down at the bottom. Last up are a few things I've just picked up. I've just received in the last couple of days, which I'm quite excited about, so I thought I'd open them on here. It's Hellripper, The Affair of the Poisons. I've heard nearly everyone on the VC talking about this band, and I checked them out on Spotify and the likes, had a listen, absolutely loved it. So I bought everything I could do from the Bandcamp. So this is the Affair of the Poisons on black vinyl. Very excited to give that a listen on vinyl. Comes with a nice catalogue, which you don't see too often these days. Pretty old school. I also picked up Complete and Total Fucking Mayhem, the compilation album, and Black Arts and Alchemy, a little EP. Got them all from their Bandcamp. They all turned up within about 3 days, which I was really impressed with. I know he's a local guy. Well, not local, but UK. So it's not taken long to arrive. I was really impressed with the service from him, and I'm looking forward to giving them all a listen on vinyl and CD when I get finished with this video. Finally, here's another Bandcamp purchase, and this is the album Catharsis by Blood God, and this is actually the band that wrote the tune that I put on my intro to my channel. Got a couple of stickers in there, got a nice little message. Hi Simon, thanks a load for your support, we highly appreciate it. Stay metal, horns up. Cheers, Johnny Blood God. I found these on the free music archives, I think it's called, where you can just download royalty free music. Basically this band's split up now. They obviously uploaded their music onto there, thought it'd be good for people to use it, which I've done. And then I discovered that they had a Bandcamp and they were still selling their album. So I picked that up. The song that I use on my intro and outro to my videos is called Valar Morghulis, which is track 1, which is a reference to the Game of Thrones, if you've ever seen that or read it. It's a limited edition, number 474 of 500, and I'm really pleased to have picked that up on CD, because I know I wasn't expecting to find anything particularly great on there. A lot of the stuff was dreadful. But I stumbled across this and it stood out by a mile, and not just because all the other stuff was shit. It's really good, really enjoyable death metal. So that's it. That's my pickups so far. As I say, I've got another one coming fairly soon. I've got a few more on the way. My birthday's coming up this end of this week, so I will probably be getting quite a few in for that, to be honest. So I'll probably have another update soonish, and I've got a couple of ideas of things I'm going to get out soon. Hopefully it won't be as long before the next video. It's been a while. But thanks for watching. If you are new here, like and subscribe the video if you enjoyed it. And thanks very much. I'll see you next time. Beardy Red Viking, out.